All right, welcome back to another episode of the Within Range podcast. Ear God, Jared Suter, Dom Juan. We have a very special guest in the house today, to say the least. This man's been making crazy noise in the valley. We had a chance, Jared, to see him perform at the most recent Matty Ice
Yes,
event.
we did, and that was fire.
Captivating
Tore it
performance.
down at the end there, especially.
We'll
too.
talk about them
Appreciate
dancers,
it.
dude. But when they came out, that just was that was
Nice
different.
touch.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, man, you had the crowd rocking, excited to learn more about your story and journey. Hits after hits, you got albums, projects, singles, features, you name it.
For sure.
Got a plethora.
Catalog is growing.
Exactly.
For sure.
So yeah, excited to get into it. Mr. 6'5", so I ain't gotta get low, baby, right?
Look,
We are honored to
man.
have SheLovesSwayy. Sway Keem is on the pod today.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you for sure. Blessings.
All right, Sway. So one thing I told Jared I wanted to announce, given that you're our guest today and given who your main target audience is,
Okay.
I
with,
think it.
with a lot of the music, not all. Not
No,
everything,
but
definitely a good
you would
target
the main
audience.
target.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I think it's important to acknowledge that this is episode 69 for those freaks out there.
Okay.
Okay, it's just,
in here.
listen.
Look,
We don't
it's
even
only
plan
right
it.
to
We don't
have
even
She
plan it.
Loves.
It's just that's the thing. You just
You know,
stay
It
in
just
the
happened
flow,
to be
and it
episode
happens.
69.
I
Yeah.
was meant to be here.
Exactly.
For
It
episode
was-
60.
it lined up.
You know?
Man. All right, so let's get into it. So from what we understand, you were originally born in LA.
Yes.
Okay. At what point, I guess, if you could talk about growing up in LA, and then when did you come to Arizona?
So I've been in Arizona most of my life. I was born in LA, but I came out here probably 4th grade, 3rd grade, or something like that. So
That's young.
yeah. So
Yeah.
people are like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "Arizona."
Yeah.
You
At that point, you gotta claim
yeah,
it.
at that point, because I don't really know California like that. I know Arizona, so I grew up on the south side of Phoenix. So yeah, I represent this
Representing
for
you.
sure.
That's awesome. I mean, that's an Arizona thing. I mean, when you meet a native, it is like a rare thing. Like
Exactly.
I always say it to them, I'm like, "Oh, rare native." And they're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, actually."
A lot of people think like just because I'm from out of state, like per se, if I do blow up or anything like that, Arizona would be where it says hometown.
Yeah. No,
You
I
know,
get that.
That's where they
I'm-
dropped the pinpoint
Yeah,
at, right?
yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
I'm
for
originally
sure.
from like the San Francisco Bay Area. I was out there till I was like 10. So, and my mom lived out there until 2021 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I was always back there. But I mean, if you ask me like where I was born, I guess I'll say that. But if you ask where I'm
Yeah.
from, like at this point, like I've been here
For sure.
2 decades almost. Like I'm here.
At this point, you just accept it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm an Arizonian. Like, that's the way it works.
So Southside, I think we got some intel that told us 19th Ave and Roser.
Yep.
That was
For sure.
about the whereabouts.
On the other side, not on the park side, but we on the cul-de-sac, Auntie Nova, and you know what I'm saying? Just chilling. You feel me?
Well,
But,
for those who may not be familiar with Phoenix, I guess would you say like the south end of the stadium?
I would say so between Southern and Baseline, you have Rozier. If you were to go, I think it would be maybe north. I think it would be.
Okay.
You would
Yeah,
have
yeah,
the
be
park-
north. Yep.
Yeah,
right up
so
there.
you'd have the park side, and then on the other side, it runs into like a cul-de-sac. So
Oh no. Okay.
yeah,
All right. South Phoenix. We had a lot of
For
South
sure.
Phoenix representatives.
At some point, it
my
gotta be
parents have
somebody.
always lived
Yeah.
out there.
You
They
know?
lived at
Yeah.
like Dobbins and like
Okay.
7th Street. We
Yeah,
lived at
yeah.
like Baseline and like 24th Ave, I think, for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
So SheLovesSwayy. Tell
Yes.
us about the name, man. I mean, did a lady give you that, or how'd that come
Yeah, I'm
about?
actually
See,
been curious too.
For sure. So She Loves Sway is an affirmation. The she loves portion of it doesn't necessarily mean that she loves me. That's the target audience, yes, to get females to obviously
Episode
love me.
69, right?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We're on episode 69. We gotta spice it up a little. Exact. Do it again. Can I get one more, please? There we go. All right. So she loves is basically an affirmation to remember that she loves. It's only in my name too. Obviously, again, remember that she loves. It's a she loves Sway. And anything that you do, just remember that. At the end of the day,
Oh, it's like she loves comma. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, yeah.
it's just attached.
Yeah, like
She loves Sway. So people are like, always coming up to me and they're like, hey, she loves Sway. That means she loves you, right? Or you just have this persona about you. And I'm like, actually, it's for you. For me to remember that you love, not for me. So
Wow.
That- Not what I was expecting. I
Same.
don't really
Right,
have
yeah,
an
not
expectation,
either.
but
Not either.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that exceeded
So-
whatever expectation I could have had. That
That's
was
how
awesome.
I would break that down. Cheers.
Right.
Cheers to
I'll
that.
drink to
dude.
that one.
Yeah.
What I like about that is it's almost like it's already a conversation starter. It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's making about them. So yeah, you get kudo points for that.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Appreciate you. Blessings.
Man, so when did the music bug hit you, man? I mean, how old were you? Like when?
So obviously I'm 6'5". I was a basketball player first. That's just the way the ball rolled. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
You would have been
look,
shamed into it if you didn't
You know,
voluntarily.
6'5"
right,
for
yeah.
nothing. So scholarships were coming through, things like that. And then I used to write poetry. And a couple people knew about it at school type of thing because I was the guy reading poetry.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
So one day my friend said, hey, do you want to try to do some music? And I said, okay, let's try it out. You know what I'm saying? First thing he played was a Drake instrumental. I think it was from Marvin's Room or something like
Oh wow.
that.
No,
Classic.
That was
Classic
kind
track.
that was kind of the hot
Was
track.
your poetry on? You were in your feels in
You
your
know,
poetry.
you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
so I didn't-
He's like, boy, do I have the song for you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, this is right on Marvin's Room, recording in a closet, type of thing. You
All
know,
good things.
It's like where
Me
everyone
and
starts.
me
Yeah.
and Seti trying to figure it out. I'm just randomly saying words, no melody, no nothing. Probably started when I was around like seriously 16, 17.
So you're like sophomore, junior year,
Yeah.
kind of going. Okay.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
when I started, I knew that I wanted to do R&B and hip hop, but the life that I was living led me to trap music. So that's where I really started at. I didn't start with R&B and hip hop.
Really? Oh, that's
That
interesting.
came on later, which is why you get the 60 Under Fire and people are like, how do you switch like that? It's very easy.
Because when you look, we'll get
yeah.
into the music, but yeah,
Yeah.
when you look at your early bodies of work versus your most recent project, you're like, wow, he is versatile. And not to say that
Yeah,
you
blessings.
wouldn't get that hints, but like there's hints of that in your
From
first
Beneficiary and
project.
Scary to that.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
just like,
quite
that's the
different.
same
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, for sure. So
Wow.
yeah.
Man, Drew, I think you had some notes, Drew, about his writing process. I think you wanted to talk about.
So as you started developing, getting into writing, getting into recording songs, like what is your process now compared to what it started? Do you still write, or do you kind of just think of everything off the top of your head and just write as you're recording?
I do a little bit of both,
Mhm.
right? But I always go back and revise my music because the lyrics mean more to me. So even if I might go off the head and while I'm rapping, they playing an instrumental and we're recording in the studio, I'm going to go back to make sure those words mean something.
Mm.
So at all times, I'm still a writer at heart.
Right.
I'm gonna always be a writer. I just want to make sure that what I'm putting out means something. I don't want to just say random stuff, which is what happens when you don't write
Yeah.
and then you just kind of piece it together. I don't want my music to sound like that.
Right.
So when I first started, obviously I wasn't a writer. I didn't know what to do. I was like, we're just gonna whatever comes out, comes out. Now I'm more specific in
Right.
what happens in the writing process.
Wow.
Okay, so I had a follow-up question for that. When you're in the studio and you're writing something and something comes up, what do you trust more, somebody else's reaction or your own reaction to what you just performed?
I trust Oz reaction.
If DJ Oz fucking with it, then we know we got
Like-
it.
Like at the end
That's
of the day,
fair. That's
at the
fair.
end of the
Yeah.
day,
That's fair.
I'm like, look, okay, so look,
If she's
I'm
gonna
gonna
play it, like
you know, I'm gonna always trust my own reaction, right? First.
Right.
That's if I feel like this is giving me goosebumps or hey, this might be a good run lead to lead with or anything like that, then obviously I'm gonna trust that. The people in the room are going to always love the music because they're in the room.
Right.
It's a different feeling
Yeah.
when you're in the room, so they're gonna give you the okay.
Mm.
But when I'm done with that studio night and I gotta send it off for approval and I plays it and then she sends me back, oh my God. I'm satisfied. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
I'm not
Yeah.
satisfied
It's a sign
until
off you
she
need.
gives
You
me
need the
the
stamp.
okay.
Well, listen, I
Exactly.
saw her DJ for you at Maddie's event, and y'all were
Yeah.
like, y'all were like a
Shaq
team
and
out
Kobe
there.
almost.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Shaq,
Yes,
exactly.
dude.
Shaq and Kobe for sure. Yeah.
Man.
I love having her on stage. Look, every situation that I'm in, if it's any show, I try to involve her as being the DJ only because obviously it makes me comfortable.
Yeah.
Obviously she's comfortable up there, and if we can provide a better show by being together, then why not?
Yeah,
Makes
for
It
sense.
sure.
only makes sense.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I mean, for those who are looking in, you can't see her, but DJ
Yeah.
is actually in the room today. If you could tell us about that relationship, man. How did y'all link up?
I'm
And
gonna take a drink before I
Okay. I'll do the same.
So me and so I met at the freshman class. Her it was like kind of like the first freshman class. Nobody knew who I was. I was in the stands and I was just watching everybody perform this, that, and the other. And I remember going up to her and saying, "I'm better than everybody on that stage." She says, "Who are you?" I say, "I go by SheLovesSwayy." She said, "Have you sent me any music?" I say, "No." She says, "Then what are we talking about?" Right?
Oh, damn.
So this is our first
awesome.
conversation, all right?
Yeah.
So this is how
It's
it
off to a
goes.
good start.
Yeah. So then I say, okay, obviously, she didn't think I was serious enough. I didn't take the proper steps to kind of represent myself in the best way. So let me go ahead and make 2 tracks that I think that she'll kind of vibe with. The 2 tracks that I made was Too Easy and I'm Already with Reach For Real For Real.
Okay.
Now understand I have no music out at this time.
None.
There's nothing for her to look up on Apple Music. There's nothing for her to look up on
Oh, wow,
Spotify.
you
So wait, so you created these songs just for her to
Exactly.
Wow.
That's like when you see
okay.
the people on Shark Tank and they go up and they're like, what are your sales? They're like, we're
Yeah.
pre-revenue.
Yeah.
Here's
Pre-revenue
Wow.
means nothing.
Here's what's to
Means
come
zero.
though. Here's a little
Exactly, yeah.
sample of it.
Yeah.
So it means 0. So Bless Reach For Real. He gave me a future without me having any music out. It was a lot of futures that were happening behind the doors just by hearing the music, and I didn't have a foot in anywhere. So I sent her Too Easy. She said, "Okay, who are you?" I said, SheLovesSwayy. Don't forget it this time, okay?
Too
We're
wise.
Yeah, you know what
Too
I'm saying?
wise, I
Too
mean.
wise. Thank you for saying that. We're gonna be okay. And then I sent her I'm Already, and then that was kind of the track that was like, okay, now we talking about something. You need to, and then she kind of gave me the guidance to say, hey, you need to put something together. You don't have anything out there. And then that's when I started to create I Still Get Lonely at Night.
Which was your first project.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's
My
you guys,
baby. That's still my baby.
I think let's just segue into the music.
Let's
because
do it.
usually
That's
we don't go
perfect.
in this early,
For
Sway,
sure.
but you just made it easy for
Okay.
us. Let me just note before we get into that project, you were busy in 2023. So if I'm correct, so you put out the She Still Loves EP,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you did the I Still Get Lonely, and then Before My Loyalty's Gone.
So I Still Get Lonely at Night dropped. And then I did Before My Loyalty's Gone, and then before the year end, I put out She Still Loves, the EP.
Wow.
And then I followed that up. I don't have a main project right now, obviously, but She Wanna Fuck My Friends, or sorry for my language, She
all
Wanna
good.
F My Friends, is my main project, basically, that I'm representing for everybody.
Okay. Yeah, because that was
Nice.
like a full feature album. We're
Exactly.
gonna get into that.
Yeah, for sure. Which took some time to develop, but thank you.
Yeah.
That's a busy year.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Man,
say.
that's- I'm
So
trying
how
to tell
long?
you.
I guess. What did you record all of that within a year? Like, what are we talking
Uh,
like more or less?
So some tracks didn't make obvious projects, and then some stuff I send to Oz, she'd be like, "You might want to revise that, or kind of like listen to it." Or some tracks I
Send back
wouldn't
to the engineer.
some
yeah.
tracks I wouldn't feel comfortable with releasing. So it's like some of them I had, but a lot of the futures were made in a point of time where I was like, okay, look, I want to work with the city. I'm openly available. I'm an actual writer behind closed doors, you know?
Yep.
So it's like, I enjoy your guys' creative process. I want to kind of help build that. I have an eye on me right now. Let's do this together and see what
Nice.
happens with it.
Some of the biggest names in Phoenix on that.
Yeah.
On that
Right.
album.
blessings. And then the ones that didn't make it, I already had them on various projects. So it was like,
Yeah.
we'll see you later.
Right.
We'll-
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know
This
what I'm saying?
isn't. It's not a
yeah.
We'll see-
final.
yeah, we'll see you later type
Yeah.
of thing.
Something's going somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, who wants to hit on the first track? Jared, you want to kick us off?
No, go for it, dude.
You want me to go?
Go
All
for
right.
it.
Well, so and we were sending some messages back and forth, you and I, but you said that I Still Get Lonely at Night is your best project.
Yes.
Tell me like why is that your?
So I Still Get Lonely at Night is obviously it was one of the first projects that I made, but on that tape, it's just a lot of emotions that I left or still carry, you know? So
Yeah.
it's like going through that writing process or going through the beats. And my favorite song, by the way, is Find a Way.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that I've ever wrote. So
Ever?
yeah,
Oh,
and that's
wow.
still on my first tape.
Even just the name of the project for me, I Still Get Lonely at Night. I love that.
You
I
know,
love that.
like
Yeah.
look,
Well, it was funny because I was trying to look for I Get Lonely at Night because I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, he did I Still Get Lonely. So is
Yeah.
there a I Get?
no,
Was
it's
there
not.
a before that?
It's basically meaning people have a perception on me, right? And you would think that maybe I have all these ladies, or maybe that I am satisfied in life, or whatever it
I
might
Still
be.
Get
But
Lonely at Night.
man,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I still get lonely at night for some reason, and I'm trying to project that through the music, and it's therapy for me.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
somebody understands that, maybe they don't.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one track in particular, I had to make sure wifey wasn't around because baby number 2 might have came through. But
For sure.
that
for
Tonight
sure.
track?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, that was just one of them, but that was
Yeah.
a deep one, man.
Yeah,
That was,
that's crazy. That one wasn't even supposed to be 3 verses long. I was like, no. I
she
was
wanted to
like,
cut it
no.
short a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I had sent it to June first, and he didn't kind of respond in time.
Wait, who's? Sorry.
June is another artist out here in Arizona.
June. Okay.
So he's one of the features on there, along with Jelani Marcel.
Oh yeah, Jelani's on that track.
Yeah,
Okay.
so June is the last verse on there. I sent it to him first, but he didn't respond. So I sent it to Jelani just to have a plan B. He's the one who kind of sent me back the verse, and then June sent it back later, and I was like, I love it all.
Yeah.
I love everything.
Yeah.
Let's just keep everything, and I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying?
So I like to ask too, because I'm an R&B guy by heart. So like,
Okay.
who are some like R&B artists? I guess like growing up, or anyone in particular?
Uh,
Because I know you said R&B came later,
yeah.
but did you listen to?
I mean, obviously, I'm a Drake guy, right? I'm gonna defend him to the death.
Listen,
for me. It is
so
what it
are
is.
we.
You know what I'm saying? Like
To
it
the
is
bitter
what it
end.
is. He
We
just-
know there's a debate.
I don't
out
care
there.
what's going on. He does no wrong.
I don't
Look,
care
he's
if there's
guided me
four,
through childhood.
if
Like,
there's 40 people writing for him
Yeah.
with what I've heard. I'm like,
yes,
hire 80.
I'm
I want to
okay.
see what he can do with 80
I'm,
guys.
I'm okay.
Give me more at
Yes,
this point. I
exactly.
don't care.
Look. Drake is who I've been listening to, and then kind of got like your newer guys, Bryson Tiller, things like
Bryson's
that.
nice.
You know, so your
You-
Brent Fiases, your
Oh.
this
Yeah,
is the
okay.
type of music that I'm listening to while I'm driving. I listen to R&B. So
I like that. You seen that video of Bryson Tiller at a Halloween party and the DJ? So he's dressed up. I think he's dressed up like Mario, and
Mario,
one of
yeah.
his boys is
Oh,
dressed
yeah,
up
yeah,
like
yeah.
That's
Luigi.
funny.
And the DJ's like so out of pocket, dude. He's like, if you ever fuck someone's baby mama to this, make some noise. And then he starts playing Bryson Tiller's song, and
yeah.
Bryson Tiller like
It's
is
like,
just
come
he doesn't even
on,
know he's being
man.
recorded,
Yeah,
but you just
come
see him
on,
like, what
man.
the hell, dude? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, that's not what I wrote
It's
it
not
for.
even necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Brown $1,000 pictures type of
Yeah, exactly.
type
That
of
was like-
situation. You know.
Oh yeah.
We saw him. We didn't pay for the picture, thank God.
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
You know, yeah. It would have been weird if you guys paid for it. You know,
I saw that. I
together,
saw
if
AZ
you
Way Too
guys-
Active posted like a Phoenix couple that
Okay.
did it, and old girl was sitting on his lap.
Yeah, while the dude stand by the
Oh,
side, you
man.
know,
Dude,
look,
it's tough.
Down
man.
so bad.
It's a tough word.
Just put him in the
I'm
cuck.
not
Put him in the
showing
cuck
up.
chair in the hotel
why are
room
you
right
there?
now, dude.
There
Yeah.
is no reason at
no,
this point.
I wouldn't even stand in the picture
because
dude.
for sure she told you at the beginning of the night, and you still chose.
Well, he
to
probably paid for it.
Yeah, he
too.
probably definitely
Yeah,
paid
oh,
for it.
100%.
He put up
paid
the
to
money to
watch
sit
it?
there.
Oh my
you
God.
paid to
dude.
watch it is sickening.
Oh.
You paid to watch it is sickening. For sure.
I might need to pause, dude. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about that. I'm feeling for that guy.
If your
right now,
girl
dude.
asks you, "Hey, I want to see Chris Brown. I want
No.
to take $1,000 picture." What are you saying? You said no.
No.
already.
See, I would.
He said
Absolutely
I'm fine
no
with it. I'm
immediately.
No.
secure enough. I'd be like, look,
Look,
if this is what you really want,
okay.
that's fine.
I'm
But-
paying
but
double
what
because
if
I'm gonna
the
be in the
picture-
picture, dude. I'm in it.
I-
Look,
No, I'm
it's
not in it,
episode,
dude.
Look,
I'm
it's
not.
episode 69, so I can say this, right?
Yeah.
So look, what if the picture is her bent over, Chris
Oh,
Brown
see
is
that?
standing there, and this is your $1,000 picture that you
Oh,
paid
yeah,
for out of
There's got to be a line somewhere.
You
dude.
know, there is no line. She loves Chris Brown, so she's gonna do
I'm
whatever it
finding the
takes.
nearest desert around here. I'm going out to Goodyear,
Okay.
Buckeye, and I'm walking as far until
For
I
sure.
just drop.
Right.
For sure.
I'm going Breaking Bad status, just out into the desert and just.
Right.
Breaking
They'll
Bad is
find me at
actually
some
wild.
point, you know.
Yeah.
The part I have a problem with is
Yeah.
they're paying the $1,000 for them, right? But the problem
Yeah.
is, if they're with somebody, that $1,000 is still going to cost the guy because now it's going to be on the internet forever. They're thinking, I spent $1,000. I want everybody else to see it too. And if it makes a viral
Yeah.
moment, the guy's got to live with that forever. And it's like at
So
that
he's
point,
paying for promo. at
He's
this
paying
point.
for
Imagine-
promo.
You know what I'm saying? At this
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
yeah,
that's a good way of
you're
putting it.
paying for promo.
But also, I agree, but it also depends on what the picture that gets painted for you, and you don't get to choose that. That's the unfortunate part.
Exactly.
So if you're
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
like
yeah,
the simp in
yeah.
the
So you never know
situation,
how it's going to end.
right? Yeah, that may just
Grandpa's calling up.
Yeah.
be right.
Oh, your Mima and I saw a picture
Yeah.
of Stephanie. That was
Mima.
very
Mima.
concerning.
That's crazy.
Very concerning.
And then
Yeah.
you got family and friends that are tuning in and actually, they might be responding to this and being like, hey, I was on the internet and just seen,
Ugh.
I
Right.
seen Jen on the internet. And, I don't know how to
Let's look
tell
at
you
her-
this, but she was bent over in front of Chris Brown.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
god.
Like-
Yeah.
That's
So it's a thing. Yeah.
you know.
Mm.
And then what are you gonna take as an excuse? It was Chris Brown. I mean, it's not. It's
You
not the
can't be
worst
mad at him.
excuse. It's not the worst.
For sure.
But you're also gonna take that.
Yeah.
You
It's
can't do
like I'm not
that.
mad at you, Chris. I'm more mad about her decision.
Right.
You guys
Right,
still go
right,
into
right,
battle.
right.
You got to
She chose
defend
that.
your honor.
Because I
don't
thought
care.
we were better than this, but obviously I'm not successful enough.
If I'm going head to head with Chris Brown, I'm losing a million times out of a million.
For sure.
But
For
you
sure.
got to
It's
ride
okay.
it. You got to saddle
I'm
up
gonna
and
still
ride
fight.
into battle.
Right.
Exactly.
You know?
That's where the
Yeah.
honor is. You can't be brave if there's nothing to be afraid
He
of.
doesn't
you know?
have She Loves in him. That's the thing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like, it's okay. You feel me?
Man.
What else from I Still Get Lonely at Night? No Other Love.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You had a line on there quote. It was like, I'm titting up the window because I don't want to let him in.
Yeah. And that wasn't even supposed to make the album,
What?
actually.
So 2 songs that I picked out. What are these
Yeah,
like?
it's
DJ
crazy.
They didn't get the
So,
DJI approval? What are
No Other Love definitely didn't get the DJI approval at first. You
Okay.
didn't like No Other Love at first. That wasn't the nope. Mm-mm.
It's
I
just
do
like,
feel
wait,
like
I don't
there's
know
some
this.
songs that are growers
okay,
and
well, yeah,
showers.
so-
You know.
So true. I mean, huh?
He said some are
No, that
growers,
wasn't
not
out yet.
showers.
I said,
No,
yeah,
no,
some
no,
shows are some songs are showers, some are growers.
So look, no other. Oh, she might be right. Actually, I might have a moment right now.
Okay,
you
so
might call
at
me.
the-
She might be.
the-
Yeah, it might be the liquor. Okay, so No Other Love. Actually, yeah, I think she was the one to put it on now. I think I took it out. I was like, I don't like something about No Other Love. I think it was too emotional for me. Some of these tracks that I do make are too emotional for me, and I will admit that. Like
I get that.
some of the stuff, I just don't. Need.
But listen, but we know who all likes that type of music.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So you
let's
kind
be
of
real.
force yourself to be in a situation where it's like, I'm gonna put this out, but if they don't like it, it's like,
Can't take it back.
I just went to therapy for no reason.
Mhm.
You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
when you look at it though, there's a lot of artists that do just like right out of the gate cut 50% of a potential like
Yeah.
audience out. Like,
Yeah,
and when
for
you
sure.
do both though, that's the thing. I think
Yeah.
that's what's important. Like, and Bryson Tiller definitely does that too. Like,
Yeah.
he appeals to both.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
I think the experimental phase was beautiful. I just needed to let you guys understand that there was more to me at a certain point in time.
Yeah.
Like I got a lot of comments like, "Oh, you're just a singer," or things that people think that won't bother you. I see all
Okay,
comments.
so do you read it all?
I see everything.
People say they
Right?
don't
So,
read it, but you
yeah,
guys
I
read
don't
it, right?
care what nobody says. Like every time something drops or anything like that, you are looking at the comments. You are looking at what people's reactions are. What is
Like,
the best
She Loves
song?
Sway Reddit.
Yeah,
r
what is the
slash,
best
yeah.
Well,
song
too,
on
well,
the
working
tape?
with someone who's in that industry too, who
Yeah.
she could see a lot of that
For
and
sure.
and kind of warn you about it
Yeah,
too, right? So,
definitely. But you still take eye to it,
yeah.
and it's like, okay, I hear you.
I
But
feel like a lot of people like hear an artist and they're like, oh, I like this one thing. They've been putting out music for a while, like
Yeah.
doing different things. They hear like one thing first, put them in that box, and then if the stuff that they
Yeah,
make going
exactly.
forward like doesn't fit that box, they don't like it. And like I feel like back in the day, like Wiz was really good about like I feel like he did albums for the like the pop commercial thing, and then he would
Yeah.
make his mixtapes for like fans that were like into kind of the old stuff. And like I feel like there's artists that do that, and I
Yeah.
think there's nothing wrong with mixing it up, man.
No.
You gotta
Right.
be
60 Under
multifaceted. these days.
Fire got fans that mainly didn't really even
I
listen to.
still
Jared,
don't know
Jared,
how
go
that's the
go into
same
it. The
guy.
Jared,
I mean, yeah, like
let's talk about that track. Really.
the line that stuck with me.
That was the demon I needed to get out. Go ahead.
Dude, yeah, that was like
just look. It was
that was like the nice guy with the glasses in the office who's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, hey Cheryl, good morning." And just like he finally, it was like, was it Michael Douglas and Falling Down?
Oh,
dude,
Falling
he's like
Down.
the
He
accountant
just
and he just
loses
like
it.
snaps
Yes,
one day.
for
That's
sure.
what that song felt like, dude. But the bar that caught me in that was I think it was "What You Thought I Was Goofy," Disney movie make 'em poof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Dude.
What you thought I was?
Killed
a goof,
me, dude.
Disney
Yeah,
movie make
which
'em
yeah, that's what it
poof.
was. What you
Yeah.
thought I was a goof? Disney
Yeah.
movie make 'em
Because
poof.
it's like, and that goes back to the comments that you get where it's like, oh, you're just a singer, or you just only do R&B and hip hop, and some people don't know your previous
Your bag.
cat.
They don't know your bag.
Exactly.
Let's
They
just be
just know
honest.
you as SheLovesSwayy. They
Yep.
don't know Sway.
That if there was a rumor or anyone was saying that you were R&B this or that or couldn't do that, like
Yeah.
that kind of style of music, that didn't just put it to rest. That sounds too gentle. You lit it on fire. There was a funeral pyre for it.
Appreciate
60 under
Yeah.
fire.
That was
Thank
that
you,
shit.
man.
That
Thank
whole
you.
song's
Yeah.
crazy.
I
Slugger
re-
goes crazy on
I
that.
remember telling I was like, hey, I'm gonna put out a trap song. She was like, are you sure?
She had that.
She hasn't heard this side of me at all.
Right.
So she was like, are you sure? You sure you want to do this? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, just wait till you hear it. I got this. I need a studio session tonight.
And you already knew who you were gonna put on it. Like, was that all
I
lined
already
up
knew
too?
what was gonna happen.
Slugger
You
was.
get what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I already knew. I called Slugger. I hit him up. I said, hey, I got a track for you. Slugger kind of took long. Look, I love Slugger. to
We
death.
love him too.
That's my
man.
brother for sure. He knows that he took long on the verse, and it's okay.
He's
but-
living out them horror stories, dude.
Yeah,
You know.
so originally it was supposed to be, if I'm being honest, it was supposed to be me and Slugger originally.
Okay.
Slugger took a while. Again, I've always been able to figure out a plan B just in case something doesn't work out. And then the other person I thought about was Blando Bands. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, look, you're already in this lane. You have things going on. Let's just put it
A
together.
potential backup plan
Yeah.
too, just in
Right.
case. Right?
And then Slugger sent me his verse, and I said, Lord, listen.
okay, let me say this: you performed that song at the Matty
Yes.
Ice event. For those
Almost
who were
died.
there at the show, there was a moment where Slugger just screamed into the mic because
Yes.
y'all were so hyped.
And I didn't know what to do.
He went Goku.
No,
I
he
was
went
scared.
Super
No,
Saiyan.
he
He
did
went
go Goku.
full.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
I-
it
I
was
Snorlax
like a,
hyper beam.
Look, if you look at the video, you see me just behind him,
Yeah.
like, and I'm halfway screaming because I don't know what to do at this point. I just want to be in this moment with you right now.
That's well, and so being in the audience, like you had those slow jams. The dancers came out, I think, the second track.
Yeah.
So by the time that song came on, the energy did a quick like 0 to 100.
Yeah.
And even when he screamed, like y'all were doing this thing where y'all were looking at each other and
Yeah.
kind of like moving, and I was like, yo, they're locked in, dude. This shit's crazy.
Yeah. Slugger's energy is unmatched.
That was this close to a mosh pit. fam.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
crazy.
Yeah, it's something about like the hook itself. 605. I got
The
what?
Tupac intro.
I got
Oh,
no
the
fear.
Tupac
Yeah,
intro.
Tupac
yes,
intro,
yes.
yeah.
Oh my
that
God.
I was being cocky with that one. That was unnecessary, but definitely
sounded hard, dude.
necessary.
It
Exactly.
did
yeah.
sound
You're just showing him you could do it.
Exactly. Like I just wanted to kind of 60 Under Fire was a point to prove, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest. That was a hey, look, this isn't hard for me to do. I just don't prefer to do that. I don't want my image to at the end of the day be that.
But don't
necessa-
mistake the kindness
yeah,
for
but
weakness.
exactly.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
think
Yeah.
it's don't
Shit
think
ain't
Shit ain't
sweet all the
sweet over
time.
here,
Come on,
yeah.
man. I'm
It
trying
ain't
to
sweet
tell
all
you,
the
dog.
time,
I'm
dude.
trying to tell you. I be chill. I'm cool. I'm funny. I laugh. I got dimples. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, it's like, man, look, we all have that. We do
Still
have
a
that
man.
side. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
a man. Like, yeah, for
I
sure.
gotta say, I was watching the video. It was funny to me that I don't know the exact line, but it was like I think it was like something like it cost 50 to make that the white lines reappear.
Yeah.
And it was in that moment in the video, you guys flashed to the one white guy in the crew, dude. That
Jared's
shit
like,
cracked
Jared's
me
like, where
up.
can I submit my
I'm like,
application?
hey, how do I apply to be
Yeah,
the
you're
one?
talking
Just like give me one frame. And then
Yeah,
it was like the
you're
one
talking
time of the
about
song it was like,
Milo.
it take 50 to make the white lines reappear. He's like,
Yeah,
I was like, how do I get in there, dude?
Yeah, shout out my boy Milo for sure. He's gonna show up regardless. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
your
I
boy.
love
He's
it.
gonna-
Yeah,
Milo's
he's in there.
cool for
he
sure.
he got in the. That's all you're trying to be in the video.
Had his
He
moment.
You know
got
what I'm
it.
saying? Yeah, Milo does music too. Shout out to Milo Marks. He does.
Yeah, shout out to
yeah.
whoever edited that, dude.
For sure.
Was that a
Like,
was
this
that a
was the
dev
one
did it or?
part-
Yeah.
No, that was an anonymous film.
Okay,
anonymous
okay,
film
anonymous
shot that,
film,
and then
okay.
at that part he was just like, white lines.
He was like,
1 + 1 =
I
2.
see. Yep, that guy
Yep,
right there.
that's
Got
the
him.
one.
Yeah.
Let's make it make sense, you know?
Oh, that
Like-
killed me. I was dying.
That's funny you caught that too, because I caught that as well. But
Well,
yeah.
because I mean, first off, I was just like, it flashed to him. I was like, how do I get there? Dude?
Exactly.
And then I
Look,
was like,
I got you. You
Then I
can
heard
be
the
at any
lyric and it
video
was like,
shoot
big
you
white
want.
lines reappear and then he just shows
Yeah.
up. I was, kill me. It
It'd
was
have been,
funny.
it'd
It
have
was
been
fun.
lovely to have
It's
two.
the little things, dude.
Yeah,
it's
dude, that
little
would have been
nuances.
perfect.
Okay, so Luca, I first off, we love the song. Dom, I know you had some notes about it too. I think you were a big fan. Go for it. What
No,
do you
actually,
think,
Drew.
Brett?
It was Drew that. I think
Talk
Drew
to me,
had
that
some
was
notes
mine.
on that one.
Let me
Yeah,
know.
that was mine.
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So with Luca, that is my favorite track out of your whole entire discography. To me, it's the cadences, the
Okay.
melodies, the harmonies that you do, like there's
Mhm.
the background harmonies that you do in there. And one of the things I think that song kind of illuminated for me about your music creativity is you know how to craft a great song. You know how to put the right ingredients to the right song. You know how to put the right cadences together and allow where you just become an instrument with the song. You're not overly doing it.
Yeah.
You're not adding too many vocal layers to where you just hear a lot of things going on to where you can't find the right things to pay attention to. And
For sure.
there's 4 songs that I kind of collectively like kind of put together. So for me it was like Too Easy,
Okay.
I'm Already,
Yeah.
Luca, and My Name Is. There's certain things that you do that create these consistencies. And what I like about those songs, you all kind of come out with a statement. The very first line of
Yeah.
each song has like a statement, and that sets the tone for the entire song. So like with
Exactly.
like Too Easy, More Topics, What's Logic, I'm Already, I Should Call My Baby Mama, like, and then with Luca, it ain't over till it's over. It creates these moments where like, okay, you have my attention. It's a very
Yeah.
common thing that people would say, but it's like, okay, where are you gonna take it?
Yeah.
And I like just the way that you take things, and then too, you pick really good features to complement you very well.
Blessings.
And
Yeah, the feature thing is
everybody
my
like
thing.
nobody.
I don't know
Yeah,
what's going on.
yeah, what I love about the features is like nobody is like here to hear. Everybody is like
Yeah.
everybody knows what to bring to the table. And
That's making them a part of the creative process,
Right.
like immediately.
okay, yeah, that was something that
Yeah.
I really
From the get-go.
appreciated. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was something that I really
You're not
appreciated.
just sending it off, send it back to me. You
If you're
want
working
them.
with me, we're working.
Yeah.
It's-
Do you
So all
like
those
in
so all those
person,
features
too?
on the album, was everybody in the studio?
It
again?
was only one that wasn't.
Well,
Wow.
Slugger, you said sent
was-
his.
No, it was even with Slugger, I was still in the studio with him.
Oh wow.
Blando was the one that I had to send. I think he was doing something about trying to do a tour or something like that. But other than that, Blue Jays in Cali, but even he came out here.
Wow.
So
Mm.
a lot of the features that I had on the project, or a lot of features that I ever have, I'd rather have you in studio.
Yeah.
I'd
Well,
rather
Get that vibe.
yeah,
Yeah.
because look, we're only going to create our best music if we're both here. If I send you a track, you're going to do whatever with it. Look, and I don't want that. My
Yeah.
music means more to me than for me to
Just knowing the person that made it, like that's one of the things we love about doing
Yeah.
the show is like we listen to music that we like and then we get to meet the person and it adds so much to it. It's like it's the same
Blessings.
thing when
Yeah.
you're in person not creating,
For
I would
sure.
imagine. That's a really good segue because what I wanted to talk about on this song that was interesting to me too is how did you link up with Marshawn?
So Marshawn, I've been knowing Marshawn since I was like 14.
14.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So Marshawn isn't a new character that came in. Marshawn has been around since we used to have a team called TCS. Okay, it's called the Click Spiffy.
Well,
it
you were in a
was-
group together?
Yeah, it was a collective of us. It was me, Marshawn, Seti, A1, Juice, and I think that was really like it for us that was rapping. It was we had Sunny, Picture Guys, things like that. Marshawn is somebody I've been doing music with, things like that. Luca was an experimental project. So it's crazy that you say anything about it. I didn't know if those melodies were correct. I just wanted to do something a little different, but still make it simple enough for you to hear my words,
Okay.
you to hear what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? All of those things. Step back and left side, she done
Yeah.
went, Luca. You know what I'm
Yeah, that
saying?
step
These are
back line
just
was
like
hard.
little things that might
If
click
you
in
know,
your
you
brain
know,
and
yeah.
hang on.
That-
You
when
know
you
what
get
I'm
a
saying?
theme to the
So,
song like that, it just again, it's all the
Yeah.
little things that
Mhm.
come together that you do.
for sure.
It's crazy though, because we actually have a thing with Marshawn.
Yeah,
Here, go ahead and go
Okay,
into
so
it.
okay.
when
This is just nobody knows this.
Yeah.
So
together.
the pod, this was spawned from like Dom and I. We'd known each other for a long time. When we'd hang out, we would do basically exactly this, but we'd just be like watching YouTube, breaking stuff
Yeah.
down, and then we'd like wonder stuff, and we're like, man, it'd be cool to be like ask people. And finally, one day, Dom asked if we wanted to do this, and so like right when we started, I was like, okay, well, I actually really don't know a ton about like Arizona music. Like I listened to like Willie North Pole when I was in high school, and like that was like about at the time that was about my extent of knowledge. And so like I started looking stuff up, and Marshawn was one of the first people I ended up stumbling
Ever.
across.
Okay.
Ever.
Dude, and I went, I'll be honest, I went nuts, dude. DND,
Yeah.
dude, that shit goes so hard, dude.
Those are the days.
Blowing
for
up my
sure.
phone, but I ain't know, but it's on DND. Dude, I went crazy, and like there was a few other songs. Like I was like, okay, this guy's sick. I was like, we have to get this guy on. We hit him up, and he was like, yeah, it sounds cool. Like lock in. And then I gotta say, I think it was day of, dude. Ended up ghosting us, dude. Just
So
nothing.
Marshawn was supposed to be our first
Our
Arizona
first
guest
Arizona
ever on
guest
this
ever.
podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So it's funny because we were listening to your music. I came across Luca and I texted him right away. I go, dude, is this the Marshawn?
Yeah.
And we knew
like,
right
this is
away it
the
was him. We were
Marshawn.
like, bro,
Yeah.
he could have made history with us. Like,
So I probably have like 6 to 8 tracks with Marshawn.
For
right?
real.
really?
Yeah. You guys have heard.
Is he
one.
still doing
Okay.
music? Or
So
can we ask?
He's still
like,
doing. So look.
can we ask?
The guy's
he
nice
had-
with it.
He
He's
had
nice
dropped,
with
he
it.
dropped the album with me on it. It was a song called Best Friend, and then he took the album down. I don't look.
That's what I was gonna say. That's the one DNG is on, because I went to go
Exactly.
play it earlier, and I was like, wait,
Yeah,
this
so-
gets this beautiful track.
As soon as you go into it, number 2, Best Friend, you'll hear me. That's the song that we kind of created together.
Okay.
Like, hey, look, if you want to do something, I'll do something for your album. And then boom, Best Friend came on. So we did that, and then we have been creating. He took a pause in his journey.
life happens.
You know what
Life
I'm saying?
happens.
Yeah, he took a pause in his journey.
It's nice to think
I'm
people
not
just sit
taking
around
a
and
pause.
I was
make
gonna say
music
you
all
did
day.
not take a
I'm
pause.
not-
You did
Yeah,
60 under
I'm not
fire.
stopping.
Like,
Yeah, so I'm gonna always be able to give you guys something. I don't plan on stopping. I'm gonna keep going.
It's like almost like a gym buddy relationship.
Yeah, for
sounds like.
sure.
You're like sounds
Yeah.
like you're
got
kind of
tired
calling
of
him
lifting
out right
weights.
now.
You
Get
know
in
what I'm
there.
saying? You got tired of lifting weights.
Get in there
It's
and lift some
okay.
weight, dude.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we're gonna get it okay. We're gonna get right.
that's crazy.
Well, Marshawn, it hurt, but you know,
Yeah, he could have made history
I'm
with
just
us. That's
saying.
okay.
I'm
We
just
got
saying.
SheLovesSwayy on now.
She
so
loves.
let's
Mhm.
go. Next song I want to talk about. I think it might be one of your biggest. I think I've heard kind of the who's of Arizona play, but whoa, whoa.
Okay, yeah.
That's the type of
That's-
pussy get your ass a Benz. Whoa.
Yeah, that's my golden nugget.
Is
I
that the
guess.
one?
I guess.
That's your
Last
golden
I
nugget.
saw,
Yeah.
I think it was like over. I think it was almost 110 thou on YouTube.
Yeah, that went. So look,
You
and
also
that's-
did an on the mic performance.
Man, Whoa is organically grown to just be its own thing. Every couple months, for some reason, notifications just start going off
popping.
about
just
Whoa.
gets caught up in the
Yeah,
the
you know,
algorithm.
like just
Yeah.
random people leaving comments on it or something like that, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, who generated this? You know, somebody.
Like, did
found
someone
it.
pay for an ad?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
you started to
So,
question.
When I released Whoa, was just kind of like okay, we don't know where this is gonna go. We don't know how they're gonna take it, and then it kind of just it had its own legs, and I'm gonna be performing Whoa forever.
Well, you performed that at the show too, right?
Yeah, I did Whoa last. Yep, that's when I had the solo with Ari in them. Always Ari on IG, but yeah. So Whoa is just Whoa's gonna be forever in my catalog. That thing is
Yeah.
just not stopping.
That's your what would you call that? That's
That's your Wonderwall.
Yes,
they
yes, yeah,
They're
that's
like,
your-
they're like we
yeah,
have like
Abbey
albums
Road,
and
that's
albums.
your-
You gotta go play
If they're like,
Wonderwall.
if you can play one
your Purple
song
Rain
out
right
of your
there.
category,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's between. I have a couple, but Whoa is definitely the one that I'm
That's the
like,
one, yeah.
okay,
It's
what
Too
are we
Easy.
doing?
That other one. Or?
Too Easy is definitely
Yeah,
in
Too
there
Easy.
Okay.
for sure.
Which is-
Whoa, and then like as a beneficiary and scared. Those two are the ones where like I
Yeah.
heard that, and then I hear 60, and I'm like,
Okay.
how? How?
Like what's
How do
what's
you
like
do
what
it?
song? Yeah,
Almost
what
like
song
a-
do you put in
Like a
between?
Gunna,
Yeah.
a melodic Bryson like
Yeah.
floating on it, like
That's what
like,
happens when you make an R&B person mad, basically.
That's
beautiful.
you know, so
love that.
Drake's got to be coming up with a snap then soon
Something.
after everything
Like,
he's been through,
please.
dude.
He
Right?
Drop that
Come
one
on.
with Thug and someone else.
you
that
know,
one-
defend
that was
us,
pretty good.
man, because right now it's not looking too good. It is what it is, but
What else?
One of the cool things that I loved about getting into your catalog was I didn't go from the newest to oldest. I actually went from oldest to newest. And
So you was watching the growth type of thing.
so that was actually one of my notes was, you know, I started doing that recently because I'm like, a lot of times the music they make now, if you don't get it right away, it's really hard to be convinced to go backwards. So I'm like, let me start in the beginning. Let me see kind of creatively where was this artist at the time? What music were they listening to? What were they into that inspired the music to be made at that particular point and then allowed them to grow from there? And
Yeah.
what I loved about it, like the first 4 or 5 songs that I listened to, you gave me the feeling that like what Drake gave me for 10 years that he no longer provides for me. So I'm like, damn,
keep
I need
hearing that too. It's
I need that
What
voice.
was that first project he dropped? The
It was like
The Take Care.
no,
No,
I
like
mean,
the-
Thank Me Later.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Later.
that was his first album,
Thank
yeah.
Me Later.
And it to me it's songs like Too Easy, it's songs like Luca Left Side. It's to me it's also songs like My Name Is, like those songs you can make 1,000 of those at least for me
Yeah.
personally, and I'm 100% okay. Like I know you
For
can do the like you can literally make 1,000 of those, and
For sure.
and it actually gave me an idea was I would love to hear a whole album of you doing it live, so almost like a Tiny Desk style where it's
Tiny Desk, yeah.
a piano
that's-
player, a female doing like a vocal sample, so like some effects running through some pedals, a bass
Okay.
player, and then one person playing drums. But instead of having a
He
whole
sound
drum
like he
kit,
ready.
I know.
was just
saying-
I
you know
was
what
just
I'm
gonna
saying?
say,
You
I was
sound
like,
like you got
Drew's
the idea
engineering
for
this
me,
right
you know
now.
what
He's
I'm
like,
saying?
I
You gotta
actually
get
know
this
the
like a
exact.
back player,
I
little
just gotta get these
piano,
notes.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like we got it in the background.
He's like, I think I'd put a
okay.
flange
Right,
filter on
right,
it.
and
Yeah,
then-
you know what I'm saying?
right,
Yeah.
and then
He's
it's
like, I know the plugin I
I'm
use
feeling
actually.
you. I'm here for
right,
it.
and then instead of a whole drum kit, it just a side stick. Just get a snare drum, have a person hit that side stick, and that's the whole album. It's just those ingredients there.
sure.
You can make a whole album performing it
And
live,
it'll
and
flow
that's
all the way through,
yeah,
for
and
sure.
that's like to me, I could listen to that all day because a lot of those songs that I mentioned those are the main elements of those songs, and you make such great use of those minimalistic type
Yeah.
productions, and that's why I feel like for me those become my favorites.
Yeah. It's definitely look, it's definitely been a journey. Obviously. You get I Still Get Lonely at Night, then you get Before My Loadie's Gone, and then you get She Still Loves, and then out of nowhere you get She Wanna F My Friends.
Right,
You know what I'm
right, yeah.
saying? So it's
The
like
trajectory.
it's definitely a journey.
That's how fast it comes at you, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If I could be honest, I remember calling Odd the other day, and I was like, "Hey, look, man. Like, I think it's time to kind of reel it back in, right? We've had the experiments, we've done different type of things, but I think my main goal and my main focus is actually building the image to the point where it makes sense for somebody or anybody who first time looks at it, right? Because if you go into the image and the first thing you hear is 60 Under Fire, it's like, hold on, what, like you said.
Right.
And then you go into Beneficiary and Scary, and I'm confusing people at this time, you
Okay.
know? So
Yeah.
it's experimental, but at the same time, fan base is coming in, everybody loves it, things like that. But my main goal is to really introduce She Loves within R&B and hip hop.
Mhm.
Okay.
I feel like nobody's really touching that lane, maybe because people are scared to talk about their emotions. Like, I will break down everything that I can onto the tape or album just so it makes sense for you. Maybe I'm helping you through something.
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
As a
yeah.
man, I still go through things. I
Mhm.
believe in
Yeah.
mental health, by
Yeah.
the way. So
Yeah, no.
men's mental
Important.
health is very important. to
Super
me,
important.
Okay. So obviously when the music comes out or anything like that, it's like, maybe I'm helping you.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just talking. You know, who knows? But it's
Someone's
helping,
listening
it's
to
helping
it.
me.
Right.
I know that much.
No,
Yeah.
I know. I random, like very random book, but I remember I ended up. Have you ever heard of Andre Agassi, the tennis player? He was like he
No,
was.
I haven't,
So
actually.
he was like kind of back in the day. He was kind of like one of the wild. There was like John McEnroe, who was like this Irish guy who just like cussed and got pissed off, like, and he was controversial. But Andre Agassi was like this guy who had like a mullet with like a huge feathered thing. He looked like he was like in Van Halen and played tennis and stuff, and like. My stepdad played tennis and it was like a big thing and stuff. But I remember like he was so cool at the time, like he was like the top of the sport. And I knew who he was then. And then years later, I read his book and like, dude, he was smoking crack. And I was just like,
Like,
oh,
didn't
I
even know. what
yeah,
was
like
going
had
on
no
in his
idea.
life,
Guy was
like-
married to Brooke
Yeah.
Shields, married to Brooke Shields in her
Yeah.
prime, playing tennis, sponsored by Rolex. Like the guys at the
Yeah.
top of the smoking crack,
For
playing
sure.
tennis. And obviously I couldn't relate to that particular part of it, but I just remember like being young and reading that and being like, it was this aha moment of like, whoa, like, okay, these
Yeah.
guys that seem like they have it all together, their shit can still, you can
For
have it.
sure.
Mhm.
And that is like
Demons.
the same chain
Yeah,
where it's just
for
like, if you
sure.
just hear another
'Cause-
man that you respect and you're
Yeah.
like, wait a second,
You
he's
guys might
feeling
just
that
hear a
same thing.
song, but don't know where it originated from.
Yes.
You don't know my emotions or what I was going through at that
But
time.
you feel that feeling, you know that. Could be a completely different cause, but you're
Yes.
like, okay, I get that.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna project this as best that I can, for sure.
So I want to say this too. I've been listening to music like getting in preparation for this, but listening beforehand.
Thank you.
And I was like, not to say that we like to compare artists because no one
Yeah,
likes to
yeah.
hear that, right? But you mentioned like
Comparison isn't bad. though.
right, but you mentioned Brett Faiyaz, Bryson Tiller, and it was funny because I'm listening to your music, and in my head at times I was thinking I'm trying to figure out who he sounds like,
Yeah.
but then I just realized I don't think you sound like anybody. Definitely not within Arizona,
For
but
sure.
also too like I just think you kind of have your own sound. So
Blessings.
yeah, just something I kind of thought, and I was like, I think I could see why that's why you would be popular and start to
I
kind
get
of
that a
break through.
lot too. The no matter what I create, we hear you.
Mhm.
Right,
Mhm.
so no matter if it's 60 Under Fire or if it's Beneficiary,
You still hear the same
Scary or
voice in there.
exactly.
It's
You
the same
sti-
person.
It's still
Sometimes you're talking with pain, sometimes you're talking with anger.
exactly, but
Sometimes you're trying to 69. But
so
yeah.
exactly. So that means it's no matter what I'm doing, I'm in touch with who I am, so it's resonating.
Yep.
No matter how it's coming out. So that's a good thing for sure.
It's cool
Yeah.
because it's like everyone goes through different stuff, but it's like your unique lens
Yeah,
on it.
facts.
When I'm angry, this is what I feel like.
Looks,
When I'm in the mood, this is how I'm shooting my shot. Like
yeah, I could drop a trap album, but I just won't do it. So like
That'd be dope, though.
it's okay.
we wouldn't be mad.
Yeah.
What else? I think Jerry, we both had some notes on this, but right here, off of Before My Loyalty's
Okay.
Gone,
Yep.
shot that off the light rail.
Yeah.
Is that downtown light rail?
Yeah. So right here it's kind of a touchy subject, Didn't
Uh-oh.
expect that one.
Oh,
You
sorry.
know what I'm saying? Shot by Hatch. It's my brother. So he passed away.
Oh, that's
man.
awful. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
I kind of decided to drop that the other day, just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was like one of those projects I was just kind of like, look, I'm either gonna hold this forever or I'm just gonna put it out into the world and then just keep promoting it as it comes, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. You feel me? But yeah, that was one of the last kind of videos that he shot for that.
Wow. That makes it even more special.
Cold Summer, which is crazy.
That's another
dude, I remember just reading it before I listened. I was like, God, give me some of that, please, dude. We need some of that out of here, dude.
Yeah. So right here is special to me. It'll always be special to me for sure. It was more of a track where I wanted people to hear me, kind of like the lyricism in me type of thing, because I don't think people like really heard the lyricism in me. They kind of hear the lovey-dovey stuff, or they hear me talking to females, or they hear me talking mess, you know what I'm saying? But as far as lyricism, right here was kind of one of the first tracks that gave you that. So
The one that stood out to me, I think I got it roughly right, but it was, I would never console you dudes like a PlayStation.
Yeah.
You worried about my Xbox.
Yeah.
And I think you're like, I'm still in that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy part, dude.
That was the
That's a
super
crazy-
super
When he
hot
first
fire.
wrote it, yeah, when I heard it, I was like, wait.
I heard that. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, PlayStation bar, that's
Yeah.
cool. He
I
was
would
just
never
like, y'all still worried
console
about my
to you
Xbox,
like
and
a
I was like,
PlayStation for sure.
oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
I can't console to y'all because sometimes y'all still worried about my
Xbox. That's what it is. Okay,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, for sure.
dude, great line. That's
crazy,
dude.
Random line that just went in there and just took off. It's crazy.
We
That's
know-
my
we
favorite
noticed
thing,
it.
It's the little
dude,
lines
dude,
that
when you
take
hear that
off, like-
one that's just like, oh, it's when
Yeah.
you look at, like, if we're listening together, we're like, oh, did you hear that?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a track I sat down more on, and I was like, okay, let's actually kind of play with these bars and
It
see
shows
if we
with
can
that one, dude.
connect the melodies and connect the, make
Yeah.
it make sense, but also still let them know I'm right here.
You're always repping the city too
For
in your
sure.
videos.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yes.
you were saying
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I'm born in California, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
when you
Arizona.
put music out and you make a video,
Mhm.
from pretty much everything I see,
Yep.
it's Arizona.
We
and
love
it's
that.
clearly
We love
Arizona.
Yes.
We live in such a beautiful city, and we have
Yes.
artists like you who are
Yes.
super talented. It's like, so you hear you get the
Yeah.
image of the city.
Now look, you will get a time where there is a beach in my video for
Yeah,
sure.
there were
But-
Texas
Gotta
plates
be.
on the Mercedes, but I know
You
that
know what I'm
skyline.
saying?
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? I get it.
But it's like capturing where I'm at, what means most to me, and just the moment of it all, right?
Yeah.
It kind of puts the picture together. Most of the people who are going to see my stuff are from here. So it's going to be like, oh, I know where that's at.
I think Young Buck said
You
it
know.
best, dude. He's not where you're from, homeboy. It's where you're at.
Yeah.
Man, look, hey, look, right now I'm not in California. So.
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. It's where you're at.
Yeah.
dude.
Man.
I know I'm talking about most of the ones I needed to, dude.
For sure.
Yeah,
sure,
those,
for
yeah,
sure.
I talked to
Look,
them.
at
That's
this-
crazy
At
that-
this point, we just been talking.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't think
gonna
we
say-
I know,
realize
we're
what's
just-
going
I
on.
gotta
I know,
bring
we
that
just
back.
like-
I gotta bring
what's
that
Because
back.
at one
happened?
point, I just thought about it. At one point, he said, we're going to leeway into the music, and then we just kept talking.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just
And I
yeah,
was like,
the
okay,
music
we're
just
just on a
happened.
roll here. You know
That
what
we
I'm
find
saying?
that's best. We have
Yeah.
like there's a railroad track if we
For
need
sure.
to follow it in
Yeah.
case of emergency. We
Yeah.
can. Do
That's what we
that,
say about the
but
notes. We're
we
like, the
always
notes
let
are
it-
there just in case we need it, but if the
Yeah.
convo flows,
Selfishly,
just
I
let it
have
flow.
I have a question because so you and Marshawn together was you said you were in a group together though. Where do
Yeah.
people find that music? You said TCS.
So
We
look,
can't find
that
it.
music
I want the
is,
deep
is
cuts.
very, very hidden.
Is
You
there
know
a
what I'm saying?
SoundCloud?
Like,
There's a SoundCloud
I
out
don't
there,
know.
isn't
I
there?
don't know.
May
You
or-
know,
may or
look,
may not be.
there might be a deep dive, you know,
Man,
and it
Jesus.
might include me and Marshawn on some tracks. It might not, you know.
That's
But
crazy.
either way it goes, you know, Marshawn is an amazing artist.
Yeah.
I do wish he would do what he does. You know what I'm saying?
Jared
Best.
I just
discovered
love
him,
what-
and I was like,
One of my
So-
favorite things is finding artists you like, and then we were in a group before that, dude. I love
Yeah,
that,
that's-
dude. It's,
that's
I
why
mean,
we
dude,
like doing this show.
Think about 2 Chainz, Future. Like you have so many guys that were like that too.
Yeah,
Like,
just
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
expect it.
You just
No,
wouldn't expect it.
no,
Yeah,
no,
you're
you
like,
wouldn't.
So it's crazy too. We all have the same engineer, things like that. Marshawn does a lot of the stuff by himself, but he also does mastering through Cedric Barnes. So SETI mixed that. That's what he goes by. We all kind of had the same engineer. We're all putting in studio time together and just trying to figure it out at that time. We were all just bouncing off the wall of what could work and what couldn't work, and then
experiment. Like you said.
yeah, I think through that we kind of all started to find our sounds.
That's cool.
Marshawn found his, and he was on a roll.
I think that's one of the cool things about Arizona too, where it's like it's still like what 5th largest metro area.
Yep.
Like we're a
Yep.
huge city, but it's really small
Yeah.
from this
Exactly.
perspective.
Mhm.
Like
Yep.
in terms
That's
of
what I'm
like people
saying.
creating and doing things like that, it's like there's some people that they're just creating and maybe they're in their own lane for a
sure.
little bit, but at some point
Yeah.
all of the circles end up there's a Venn diagram out there and they almost entirely overlap.
That's
And
why
I feel like you go out to a bigger city and
For
that's not the
sure.
case.
that's why She Wanna F My Friends was important, right? Because it's like, look, we're all trying to reach for the same thing.
Mhm.
We're all reaching at the same goal, climbing on each other and trying to see who can be first to really be the name out here. Obviously, like people have made it. J-Rob, futuristic, you know,
Yep.
things like that.
I mean, maybe I'm showing my age, but I'm just saying
But-
Willie North Pole brought
Will-
Luda to the hood.
Willie
dude.
North
Willie,
Pole,
right,
you know what I'm
he
saying?
brought
Like,
Luda to
look,
South
shout out Willie
Love,
North
dude.
Pole for sure.
Yeah,
Willie
and
North
B.O.B..
Pole, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we have talent,
Yes,
right?
clearly.
We don't have a Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we don't
absolutely.
have a
a
group
Mexican
collective of
OT, aren't I?
people
Yeah.
as a Young Money.
Yeah.
We don't have certain aspects that you kind of need to make not only the state but everybody fruitful.
Yeah.
Right.
So when
true.
She Wanna F My Friends came out, it wasn't about me. You hear songs on there that I don't even lead in. I might just have a verse. If this is the song that blows up on the track, it is for you.
I think Quincy Scott led Vibe, with Me. Great track with you
Sat
and
in
him.
studio and literally went piece for piece with me. And I was like, look, this is what might sound good. He did his thing. I let him listen to the beat one time and told him, get in there.
That's it. That's all it
I
took?
want to hear your first mind,
Wow.
right?
Do you
And
do you
then
feel
we
like
can work
you're
on it after that?
do you feel like you're naturally that collaborative? Because it's like if people like take a
Yeah, I'm
different
too friendly.
not too friendly. Hey,
I'm
listen,
too friendly, though.
I get it.
keep
Nice
it going
guy,
too
sometimes a
long.
nice guy.
Yeah.
That's when 60 on Fire comes out. dude.
Exactly.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it comes out
for
at some
sure,
point.
For sure.
But I feel like if you look at just like anyone just like a corporate job or something, like working with different people on something that's like this
Yeah.
is how you do this. And you will still work with people and have differing opinions and be like,
Yeah.
oh, she does this or he does this. And like you'll get into like how then you have something that's so personal, which is like the music that you create and your
Mhm.
opinion on it.
Yeah.
It's so much more tied to you than like, oh, I messed up this spreadsheet, you know? And people fight over that. How do you get that? How do you be that open? And it seems like you have no ego in it.
Yeah. So when I'm in studio with people, I mean, look, sometimes people come in studio and they're like, okay, I'm in the studio with Sway. They've already heard about me. My studio sessions are sometimes crazy. Sometimes they are really fruitful for a lot of people. And it's time to kind of work, right? So, for example, Quincy Scott comes in, I play the beat once. He goes in there, gives me his free mind. I need your free mind. I don't know what you're going to say on this track.
Be creative.
I don't need anything crazy, but be as creative as possible. And then we can work on it. It helps when we're in a studio together. I can vibe off you. You can vibe off me. I can feel energy.
Yeah.
I can hear you mumble and be like, what was that? Don't hide it.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
And then all of a sudden you end
yeah.
up with a
You
yeah.
get what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden it's just through the roof. So collabing with people it's way more easier for me. I'm a writer at the end of the day, so creating anything in any genre isn't really hard for me nowadays. Like if I wanted to write country with somebody, I can sit down and do that.
Like J-Rob the Chief,
you
dude. I
get
saw
what I'm
that,
saying?
dude.
So,
That came out of left field to
Rodeo,
me,
you know what I'm
dude.
saying? So it's like
On that Shabuzi train, dude.
I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes when it's in you, it's just in you. So, but yeah, doing features with people and actually collabing with people. I always tell people, hey, look, if we can set up a studio time, you guys don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna set it up regardless. Like you guys just have to show up. One of the studio sessions I remember having Big Doobie, YR Killam. It was a
guys we've had on our
I was
platform.
gonna say, both guys
they've
we've
been
had
on
on-
our show.
I've
Different
had-
energies.
Yeah, I've
way
had
different.
Yante, Blue Jay, and Sonny the
That's right,
Juice.
you
in
had
the same
You had
Yante
Yante
studio.
show,
doing
that's right,
backflips
yeah.
at the
I'm
Matty
saying?
Ice shit. He was.
Look, Yante's gonna forever.
At this
do it.
point, when are we
Yeah.
getting the Yante Simone Biles collab, dude?
You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
I'm trying to see it, dude. I'm
That's
trying to see
crazy.
it.
That's funny.
That's wild.
That's a crazy collab.
That's a wild one.
I can see
That's
it.
crazy.
I was gonna say too, one of the things though is like it seems though to me like in addition to your personality, just like mentally your focus is on the best possible product.
Yeah.
And so you don't bring this like you have like your own self and sense of ego, I guess, in that sense, but like who you are as a person. But like
sure.
seems like you're there like almost in a coach role when you're
Yeah.
the one bringing someone on for a feature. You're like, okay, I'm the coach. I need to bring the best out of this
Yeah,
person for
exactly.
this particular
I got the best
situation.
J-Rob verse Future ever. He'll tell you.
Really?
Okay? It's certain. I don't know. Okay, so sometimes when I'm writing this music, I'm like, who am I writing it for? I invest in your music. I don't just write something and then anytime I is like, hey, I think you should do a song with such and such or such and such and such and such. I've always been able to create it. And it's based off of me actually being invested in you. I listen to your music. I listen to the way you carry things and the way you might do a melody or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So hearing my name is and knowing that, oh yeah, I'm sending this to J-Rob because I know exactly how he's gonna come off on this, that kind of helps me too. So music is
Wow.
more of a process to me than just writing and
Absolutely.
recording. Like
Yeah.
I'm fully invested
You
in
dissect
trying
It's meant to
everything.
invoke
Exactly.
emotion in a human being, whatever the emotion is. It could be
Yeah,
anything. But
for
like if you
sure.
don't put that into it and you think it's just like that's why people
Yeah.
don't like bubblegum pop for the most part. Like any fan of music doesn't like bubblegum pop because it's just
Yeah.
like there's no substance to it. And it's just like, okay.
This is what you get. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We got a lot out of this episode here today, boys.
look,
Good
that's
stuff.
what-
Yeah,
that's
it
what we're
was
supposed
awesome
to do,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do.
Sway, tell us what you got coming up. What can the people look forward to? What's
know,
next?
Man,
Hopefully,
look,
shows, more shows. Because listen, after the performance at Maddie's, you got to
Yeah,
do more
yeah,
of
I'm
those,
just saying,
bro.
people
it's
kept
close.
hitting
Gotta
me in
do
my
more of
inbox. They were like,
those.
up your price. I don't care what you're talking about. They were like,
Yesterday's
look, I don't even know
price
you,
is not
but up
today's
your
price.
price. They were hitting me up back to back after that performance. And they were like, look, what you just did was the show. They should have just promoted you.
I'm telling you, you get
When you hitting 11-11, dude. I mean, when's
take
that?
from this
When's
what you
that
want, but I'm
happening?
just saying, you get a few more Jareds in that crowd, there's a mosh pit.
Man, I'm trying to
I'll tell you, that's
look,
happening.
Look, blessings to my wife's friends, okay? They show up.
They're about to
They
mosh.
show up in the merch. They show up with hats and everything in the crowd. And
Yep.
all of a sudden, I start going off, and they're the ones that are like, yeah, we're here.
I don't know if you've
We're
seen
here
like
for
the
you.
Woodstock 99 stuff where they had like all the, like they ended
Oh,
up
that
tearing down the
crazy.
sound tower, but I'm telling you, you give them another 5 minutes of that
sure.
energy,
It might have been dangerous in there.
it's
I
gonna
might
be a
have had
problem.
to be escorted
Yeah,
out,
there's
you
the
know?
insurance
Yeah,
the
he said
insurance premiums are
escorted,
going
yeah,
up, dude,
for
because
sure.
that one,
He would have
yeah.
been like, look, man. Look,
tear it down,
You
dude.
can't do that in here.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
that.
He's like, yeah, it's like telling Fred Durst not to sing
Yeah.
break stuff.
Yeah, I remember walking off that stage and telling Matty Ice, you should have just promoted me.
Damn.
Period.
Like that. Okay.
You hit him
I
with
like
the
that.
that was Kirk Cousins on the Commanders. You like that?
Oh, you like
Yeah.
that?
You like that?
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, man, look.
So what? Yeah. So tell us, like, what's next for you, man? What you got coming up?
So I'm working, right? We got some things coming up. Again, if I could be honest, I did call out the other day and I told her, oh yeah, we're doing AZ Hip Hop Fest.
When's that?
Nice.
Yeah, we headline the AZ Hip Hop Fest December, I think it's 14th. I think it's
Jared,
December
mark it down.
14th.
Mark it down on the
Shout out
calendar.
Justice,
Where's it at?
RTU. We're definitely going to try to put on a show too. Okay, so
'Kay.
so December 14th,
'Kay.
AZ Hip Hop Fest.
Bottle what you did
If-
at Matty Ice.
Look,
man,
if
and
tickets
then,
can be sold, they will be sold. If tickets can be given away, they will be given away. We will be going up at the AZ Hip Hop Fest. DJ, I will be DJing and
Let's
I will be
go.
on stage. We don't know what's going to happen.
I've seen that combo live.
We
so,
don't
I
know
mean,
what's
it's-
going to happen, you know? And I think with the shows and things like that too, like I try to incorporate all like enough of the music so you kind of understand me before I get off that stage.
Okay.
So it's like we're gonna try to incorporate something.
Are you bringing back the dancers?
I don't know, man. You gotta get a ticket to know.
I'll just
You
say
know
this,
what I'm
the
saying?
only
You gotta
other
get a ticket to
time,
know,
take
man.
this for what you will, the only other time I was surprised by someone bringing dancers on stage like that is when I saw Future. I've only seen him once,
Okay.
but I saw Future, and first off, you know, you see some rappers and you're like, they're gonna have a backing track and they're
Yeah.
gonna like, it's basically like karaoke to their own songs.
Yeah.
Future rapped everything. He went out probably like 6-7 songs in, and then all of a sudden he brings out dancers. I lost my mind, dude. And
Okay.
they were like choreographed and everything, just like that. Now it's the only other time I was
Well,
that,
'cause you're- I
that,
think-
that blown away by the
Look,
dancers.
yeah.
I think
Chris
you saw
Brown brought him out.
yeah.
and
Your
I
first song
expected
you
it.
didn't
for
have
sure.
them, right?
Yeah.
And I think, and then the second one, I think they came out.
Yeah, at
Is that
first I
right?
didn't have them, and then second one they came out.
Because I remember Jared, you were like texting your phone. I go, Jared, look up.
what?
I was like, something just happened up here, dude. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then like I noticed the shift in energy when the dancers did come out, and then I was so happy because I was thinking while we were doing it, I'm like, what are we gonna do about 60 Under Fire? Because the dancers come off and it's an energy.
By the time we
switch.
got to that point, we were
Exactly.
just
It didn't
ready
even
for
matter.
Yeah,
it
just
It didn't even matter. It was
Yeah.
like, what are you doing next? That's okay. We're okay with it,
Yeah.
you know. And then I give them 60 Under Fire, and then I
Jared was about to mosh. Apparently,
I
I'm
felt
telling you.
I felt the energy in there. I saw it. There's video of it, so I saw
You-
it all.
So
and I'm
yeah,
like,
from your
10 more
perspective, you
memes.
saw the shift in the
Man.
crowd. Yeah, people started to
And
come up from the
as
seats.
they're
and shit.
shifting, I'm trying to keep it under control. I'm trying to breathe, still give the same energy. I'm trying to keep up with Slugger. Slugger is demonic.
He's just
I don't know what's
screaming
wrong
on
with
the
him.
mic.
Yeah,
Dude, I thought he was about to hit some like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you. Some Rage Against the Machine. dude. I thought he was about
we
to
got
go,
I
dude.
up there yelling random stuff behind.
Hey, she was
scenes
holding it
and
down though,
closed
dude. She
doors.
was.
That's like
For
performing
sure.
with
You guys
designer.
bombed.
Yeah,
That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
weird. Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys
you
did.
know?
Were like you guys were like a 1-2
Yeah,
punch up
she
there.
came
And I
on
was
there.
like,
She said, "I don't think they're ready for this."
Yeah,
That
she
wasn't
did
even
say
planned.
that.
I'm
She
sitting
did
there
say
like,
that.
They ain't ready for what? What are you talking about? Because I'm totally confused at this point. We didn't practice.
That's the
this,
type of
but
pussy
okay,
get
we're
your ass
here.
a Benz.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we here. Let's go.
That's
All of a
what's
sudden,
like
you
that,
got
man.
Slugger
Yeah.
going full Papa Roach.
You
dude,
know what I'm
just-
saying? It make the show better when we all are invested in it, and it's like, okay, we here.
need more of that.
to give somebody a performance. You know what
So
I'm
so
saying?
December 14th. Can we expect that?
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I feel like it's
I'm
it's
there.
crazy how the authentic shit just the shit that you wouldn't expect as an artist like that.
Yeah.
That gets the crowd going.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
You know, like songs you're saying, like I didn't think this was gonna be a hit. Like I'm thinking
Yeah.
like somewhat recently, like Yachty in Poland, like he had no intention of releasing
Yeah.
that song and it went crazy and had like a huge influence. Like things like that. It's like the things
It's
you don't expect.
It's
Like
always
you just fucking around.
when we put out an album, it's kind of like you guys decide what the hit is, right? We
Yeah.
always have like a thought, like, oh, this one might be
Yeah,
the hit,
this
or
might
this
be
I
Yeah.
heard
one.
21 does that. I
You know
heard
what I'm saying?
21 when he
Yeah.
puts something out, he tries to wait a little bit, sees what people like, and then he's
Uh-huh.
like, then I'll make a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a hit and guess. And sometimes you're right. You're like, okay, this is the track, let's do it. Or you're wrong, and it's like, oh, they don't even really listen to that one. Let me go ahead and focus on this one over here more. You know what I'm saying? Even though I like this one a lot.
It's like
it
when
doesn't
the radio
matter.
stations test the different
Yeah,
markets.
the
and
market's
stuff,
speaking.
right?
The
Right.
market
Yeah.
speaks. You gotta listen.
Exactly.
Man, Sway, this has been better than I think we could have imagined, man. You blessed us on episode 69
Y'all
of the
bless me
Within
for
Range
having
podcast.
me here. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on, man. And yeah, we're gonna be sticking around. Obviously, we've been following you. We're gonna continue to do that. We're gonna try to pop up on December 14th and see you rock
I
the
was
house.
very
man.
excited about this interview. By
Were
the way.
you?
Just
Hey,
want you to
Really?
know.
Appreciate
that, man.
Listen,
Thank
I
you.
know your
Thank
boss
you.
is already.
I
She's in the
definitely-
scene,
look,
man. She's a
look,
somebody out
look,
here.
I
So I was
know,
like,
look, but
we
I
were a little
definitely-
nervous. We were like, oh, I was gonna actually be.
I feel like we got
It's always-
Belichick behind us watching it practice.
Yeah, it's always crazy because I go into these interviews.
He's like, my fucking grandma could run faster. Nah.
Look, I always, she's definitely Bill Belichick in the corner for sure. But I always go into these interviews, and it's a lot of time where it's like, they kind of know you, but they don't really know you. You guys took the time to actually like listen to the music and ask me questions that I didn't think were coming, you know? So
Yeah.
Well, we
I
appreciate
appreciate
that,
you
man.
guys for
Thanks,
just
man.
having me, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
Blessings.
Drew,
Oh,
hit
love.
the outro music on that
Let's
one,
go.
man. Let's
Yeah.
end it on that.